Hi, welcome. Welcome to A Course in Miracles. Welcome to the lesson 304 of the workbook of A Course in Miracles. I'm very glad and happy inside in my soul, my heart, and my mind to know that there is a teaching given me, that there's an instruction given me for the day that lets me demonstrate an alternative. And that is really what an idea of a lesson title does and facilitates in our mind on our way home. Of course, that we admit that we are on the way home is really the basics of what transformation of mind, change of mind implicates. And that is a decision that we have already made. And it is also, of course, um, dedication and determination to be successful with this offer that comes from our whole Christ mind. And so the lesson for today, 3 or 4, gives us the idea let not my mind obscure the sight of Christ. So there's this sight of Christ which is called the vision of Christ. And that there is this indication of your own Christ mind, Jesus Christ in your mind, resurrected, asking you to look once again what you allowed to obscure that pure sight. And obviously, you made up a thought system. I made that up in my mind that was constantly obscuring that singular sight. And what is that? It is these millions and trillions of meanings about everything and everyone, about a seeming world out there that in truth doesn't exist. And it is really just a belief system within our own mind that believes that a meaning of perception of myself, of the world, of you, of God could obscure that pure sight of Christ. In truth, nothing can obscure that light, but the human mind can believe it can. And in that is already the entirety of the denial of the that negating the truth implicated and set like a rock. But that rock, based on the ego's thinking, now we share the truth and we can happily express we are glad to know is not true, will not be true, never was true. And that is really the good message that is coming along with also that introduction that is given for this sequence of 10 days, answering the question, what is the second coming? And we will hear that we are talking here about a restoration of sanity of our mind. We are talking here about this acceptance of the correction and this correcting agency that is already given and is in our mind. And that is what the Holy Spirit is. And of course, it's not outside yourself. It is this faculty in my own mind, in your own mind. It is already working. And if you doubt that there is no change going on for you, then you have to listen to his voice because he will always confirm you that the change is happening. And if you don't see it, that it is already happening to you, then at least acknowledge that it is happening now, where you cannot even really see it and perceive it, and in that sense, come to a conceptual understanding. That faculty of the Holy Spirit is changing you right now in your human perspective and human condition. And these are also the expressions of this mind I call the master teacher's mind. And the master teacher and his mind cannot be any other mind than your own Christ mind out of time, in direct connection and communication with the mind of God. And that is what you came here for, to receive a demonstration and a confirmation of your full transformation of mind, and that you are capable to communicate with God directly, to see through that vision through which the Holy Spirit sees everything, that we call the vision of Christ, the sight of Christ. And that confirmation is needed so that you can come into a full giving, a full extension of yourself, no longer held back or blocked by your own self-definition, your own doubts, your own fear, your own thoughts of guilt and shame, whatever that could possibly be. But that there is a clear tracking his mind and allowing literally speak through you, that he can use you, speak you, and as we had it, it is all of your sensory. It is your eyes, it is your hearing, it is your feet, it is your hand, it is in all of your actions. You are essential to, let's say, the fulfillment of salvation and the recognition that the sonship is whole. Because the only one who could be missing for this fulfillment would be myself, right? Would be you, yourself. And in truth, that's impossible. So let's rejoice and celebrate in that recognition that there is no word, and therefore that means there is no separate existing being like a human being, separate from its source, separate from God. But there's only one. There's only one truth, one self. You could say one heart, one mind, one soul. Who cares about the words? But it must come from a deep or true, authentic is maybe the best word, self-recognition. And that within all of our seeing, feeling, thinking, in connection with myself, with you, with the world at all. And where the rubber meets the road, right? That's where it will show itself and will reveal itself and will confirm that we are not really here anymore. It is just a residue of memory that we are wrapping up. We're just looking back for an instant in order to reconfirm this is how we went home. This is how it worked. So let me put here on just a song so that we can also, just for a moment, go into that light experience without any need of words and conceptual understanding. And I'm just choosing here randomly songs. So this is the song, This Ain't Paradise. Yeah. And obviously this song is about seeing that this perceptual objective world is not really what we consider our wholeness and where we belong to, right? So thank you.